So in the previous session, we discussed that the two biasing techniques. So one is forward bias and another one is reverse bias. So let me try to compare first and then we will try to proceed further. So I try to write here. First biasing technique is forward bias and second one we call it a reverse bias. So please try to contribute in this discussion quickly so that we will, within a very short time, we can do the revision here. When you say that diode is connected in forward bias, quick. When the P region is connected to the positive terminal of external battery and the N region is connected to the negative terminal of a battery, that time we say that diode is connected in forward bias. And for reverse, when the P region is connected to negative terminal of external battery and N region is connected to positive terminal of external battery, that time we say that diode is connected in a reverse bias. Second point. What is the effect on width of depletion layer? Width of depletion layer. What is the effect of width of the depletion layer in a forward bias? So you can observe that the width of the depletion layer in forward bias, it decreases as the forward bias voltage increases. So in case of reverse bias, the width of depletion layer, what is its effect? It increases as we increase the reverse bias voltage. The third case is that in forward bias, current flows due to majority charge carriers. Majority charge carriers. And in the reverse bias, current of very small amount, it flows due to minority charge carriers. Then the fourth point is that the resistance offered by the forward bias diode is very less, is in order of few ohms. And the resistance offered by the reverse bias diode is maximum and is in order of few mega ohm. Is it okay? And if you see the graph for forward bias diode, that graph is nothing but VI characteristics is drawn in between forward bias voltage and the forward bias current. So up to the barrier potential, no current will flow through the forward bias diode, but after it, that current, it flows linearly. So this is a linear graph. And this is, I say that IF maximum forward bias current. If you see that graph in a reverse bias, for the reverse bias diode, purposefully I select the third quadrant because it's a reverse bias voltage VR and reverse bias current IR. So we know that in the reverse bias, the current will flow due to the minority carrier. And that current is a constant, and that current is called as reverse saturation current. And this is up to a breakdown voltage or Zener voltage. But after that, the junction will break down in a reverse bias, so that this region with the dotted portion region is called as breakdown region. And this breakdown, it occurs due to two mechanisms. In the previous session we discussed, one is avalanche breakdown and another one is Zener breakdown. The avalanche breakdown means due to increase in velocity of a minority carriers, velocity of minority carriers, and the Zener breakdown is due to increase in electric field, increase in electric field in a depletion layer. Get it my point? So please take a screenshot of it, because with the help of this comparison, actually there are total 8 to 10 MCQs are formed. So it's very easy to prepare that MCQ based on this forward bias and the reverse bias is there. So please take a screenshot of it and give me the response. Take it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let me go to that once again, another one concept. And this concept, you have to consider that as an IMP concept. Why I say that IMP concept? Because this is also very important as a MCQ point of view. And that concept is ideal PN junction diode. Now here I have given the title as an ideal PN junction diode. It means that this is the imaginary concept. This is the imaginary concept. Why I say that it's an imaginary concept? Because the ideal word it comes in the title. This is not the physical PN junction diode is there. And when I say that it's an ideal PN junction diode, let me know that what is the basic function of the PN junction diode? What is the basic function? It can conduct the current only in one direction. Conduct current in one direction only. And that to be when it is connected in a forward bias. For this function, for this purpose, the PN junction diode is prepared. But practically what happened? Practically, it is observed that a very small amount of current, it flows in a reverse bias. That's why we call it a leakage current. But now when I say that it's ideal, it means that this is the imaginary concept, means we can say that no current or zero current flows when the diode is connected in a forward bias. So here, in terms of ideal concept, if I want to speak about forward bias and reverse bias, so I can speak like that because this is the imaginary concept. The first point is that about resistance, I can speak that when the diode is connected in a forward bias, it offers zero forward resistance. Practically, is it possible? No. That's why I say that it is a imaginary concept. Why I say that in a forward bias, the diode it offers a zero resistance, because it is connected in a forward bias, and we know that the basic function, it can conduct the current only in forward bias only. So that ideal diode, when it is connected in a forward bias, it may offer the zero resistance. And what you can speak about that the reverse bias, the resistance must be infinite. And why I say that infinite? Because when the resistance is infinity, then definitely the zero current it flows through it, and this is that expected thing. Get it my point? Means, can I say that ideal diode, when it is connected in a forward bias, it acts like short circuit. Why I say that short circuit? What is meant by short circuit? The short circuit is nothing but, you know that it is nothing but the zero resistance path. Get it my point? And as you know that when the ideal diode, when it is connected in a forward bias, it acts like a short circuit. What you can speak about that the reverse bias diode? It acts like a open circuit. Now, why I say that it acts like an open circuit? Open circuit means what? Whenever the circuit becomes open, resistance becomes infinite, so that the zero current it flows through that the reverse bias, and it is expected thing is that. Get it my point? And another one point, let me try to add it. When the ideal diode is connected in a forward bias, it acts like closed switch. का क्लोज्ड स्विच म्हणून ऍक्ट होतोय? कारण स्विच ज्यावेळेस क्लोज असेल त्यावेळेस त्यातून इझिली करंट फ्लो होतोय. So that I can say that it's an analogy. We can say that when ideal diode, when it is connected in a forward bias, it acts like a closed switch, and in terms of reverse bias, I say that it acts like a open switch, because whenever the switch is open, no current it flow through it. Get it my point? So I can say that ideal diode, when it is connected in a forward bias, it acts like a closed switch. This is a closed switch here. And when ideal diode, when it is connected in a reverse bias, it acts like a open switch. Now you can say that this is the open switch here. So from these 2 points or 3 points, what you can understand? The ideal PN junction diode is the imaginary concept. It means that we can say imaginary, when diode is connected in a forward bias, it gives zero resistance. It acts like a short circuit, or it acts like a closed switch. And when we want to speak about the reverse bias, so we can say that ideal diode, when it is connected in a reverse bias, it gives its infinite resistance. It can act like an open switch, or it can act like an open circuit is there. Is it that clear? So please take a screenshot of it. So there are total 6 MCQs may form with this concept. It's an ideal PN junction diode is there. Take it screenshot. Give me a response.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then once again, I will try to give that the one thing. Okay. Once again, please try to see that what are the characteristics of a PN junction, practical PN junction diode in a forward bias and the reverse bias. Now this is the diode. As we want to connect in a forward bias, so we have to connect the P region of a diode to the positive terminal of external battery, and that N region of a diode is connected to the negative terminal of external battery. Now if you see this circuit, you may feel this is a different circuit is there, but as you want to draw the graph of a forward bias voltage versus forward bias current, so definitely you need to take the multiple values of a forward bias voltage and the multiple value of a respective forward bias current. कारण फक्त एकच व्होल्टेज आणि एकच करंट त्याच्यावरून तुम्ही ड्रॉ करू शकता का? Absolutely no. And for that purpose, here we use that one variable resistor. With the help of this variable resistor, we can vary the voltage across the diode. And once we vary the voltage across the diode, current flowing through it is also vary. Is it right? And now, if I want to draw the graph, so as you know that when the diode is connected in a forward bias, up to the barrier potential, no current will flow through the forward bias diode, but after the barrier potential, current can increases linearly. So this is the linear region of a forward bias diode is there. And from which point, you can observe here, this is a point from which the current can easily flow, or current is in a linear with the applied voltage. So this point is known as a knee voltage, and you can say that the knee voltage is approximately equal to the barrier potential is there. कारण ज्यावेळेस barrier potential overcome होईल त्यावेळेस तुम्हाला तो linear graph मिळणार आहे forward bias मध्ये. And another case is that when we say that the diode is connected in a reverse bias, आता मी फक्त काय केलंय, डायोड उलटा कनेक्ट केला. You can check in the diagram. And another one difference you can notice here. Now in the forward bias, the range of ammeter, it's a milliammeter. And in a reverse bias, the range of ammeter is a micrometer. Why I say that? Why I make the difference here? Because we know that in the reverse bias, very small current it flows in terms of microampere or nanoampere. That's why the selected range of ammeter is a micrometer. And now in the reverse bias, we know that the no current will flow. Is it right? And very small current it will flow. And after that, once the reverse bias voltage increases above the barrier potential, the current it will be abnormally increases, and that is called as a breakdown region is there. And this the voltage from which the junction breakdown occurs, that voltage you can call it a breakdown voltage, or you can call it a Zener voltage is there. Is it right? And the current which is actually very small, आता इथं तुम्हाला zeros असेल, what we call this current is called as reverse saturation current. Get it my point? And this region you can call it's a breakdown region. Okay. And here also in a forward bias also there is a certain maximum level of current here, and that maximum level we say that it's a IF maximum, and at that voltage we can also call as a VF maximum is there. So this is the graph for, or the VI characteristic for forward bias and the reverse bias is there. Okay. And now with the help of this graph, we can calculate the resistance, the static resistance by applying that Ohm's law. You can take it any voltage to that particular voltage, whatever the current you can measure it, and you can calculate that the static resistance. And the dynamic resistance means you can consider any 2 points, and the change in a voltage with respect to change in a current, that is called as the dynamic resistance. This is nothing but that Ohm's law. With the help of Ohm's law, you can easily calculate its static resistance and the dynamic resistance is there. And it is observed that, what it is observed that when the diode is connected in a forward bias, it gives its less resistance in terms of Ohm. And when you calculate that resistance in a reverse bias, you will observe that that value of that resistance is in terms of mega ohm is there. It means that when the diode is connected in reverse bias, it gives its maximum resistance is there. Okay. And then we will try to discuss that the application of a PN junction diode is there. Now see that what are the application of a PN junction diode. If you see that, as you know that electricity is transmitted in the form of electricity generated in the form of AC signal, transmitted is in the form of AC signal, but as and when required, we will convert that AC signal into DC signal. So the major application of a PN junction diode, most familiar application of a PN junction diode, which is nothing but the rectification. Now, what is meant by that rectification? The process of conversion of AC signal into DC signal, that process is called as a rectification process is there. And the circuit which is used to convert AC signal into DC signal, that circuit is called as a rectifier circuit is there. And in this rectifier circuit, the major component is PN junction diode. Get it, my point? Now see that if we want to charge our cell phone battery, can we directly connect that cell phone battery to direct 230 volt AC supply? No. For that, what we can use? It's a charger. Then what is the function of charger? The charger will convert first AC signal into pure DC signal, and that to be required value of a DC signal. It means that to charge the cell phone battery, hardly we require that 5 volt or 3.4 volt or 3.7 volt or 4.5 volt. It depends upon the type of a battery and that company of that mobile is there. But hardly that range is in between 3 volt to 5 volt is that. It's a pure DC. Then how it is possible to convert? Because for our domestic purpose, how much supply is available? It's a AC 230 volt 50 hertz frequency. This supply is available, and with the help of this supply, the charger will convert AC signal into DC signal. But how it is possible? Because to charge the cell phone battery, hardly 5 volt is required. And how much AC voltage is available here? It's a 230 volt. It means that the first important thing, which is nothing but we need to reduce the voltage level. And which component it is used to reduce that voltage level? Do you remember that? We already learned these things. So the transformer is used to reduce the voltage level. It means that input to the transformer is a AC signal and the output of the transformer is also AC signal. This is that AC signal. Because you know that the definition of a transformer, I say that it's a step down transformer we used here. And the step down transformer, what it does here, it reduces that the voltage level. And once that voltage level it will be reduces, the output of the transformer is a supply to the rectifier circuit. Is a supply to what? It's a rectifier circuit. And what is meant by that rectifier circuit? The circuit which will convert the AC signal. आता बघा, रेक्टिफायर सर्किटला जे काही इनपुट आहे ते ट्रान्सफॉर्मरचं आउटपुट आहे आणि ते कसलं सिग्नल आहे? AC सिग्नल आहे. And according to the definition of a rectifier circuit, it will convert AC signal into DC signal. But the major drawback of all the rectifier circuit is that rectifier circuit will not convert 100% AC signal into DC signal. Means the output of a rectifier circuit is a not pure DC signal. So the output of rectifier circuit, it may be like this. आता जर हे आउटपुट बघितलं तर हे तुमच्या लक्षात येईल की हे फुल वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर सर्किटचे आउटपुट आहे. It means that the rectifier output is not pure DC signal. It means that it consists of AC as well as DC. And that is called as a pulsed DC signal. Pulsed DC signal. The pulsed DC signal means the output of a rectifier circuit, it consists of AC component as well as DC component. But as we want that the output must be DC, so here I say that AC components are the unwanted components. And for that purpose, we cannot directly connect that output of rectifier circuit to the cell phone battery, because the output of rectifier circuit is not pure DC signal. So that as we need to remove that AC component from the output of rectifier circuit and only allow the DC components, so that after rectifier circuit, we need to use that filter circuit. And what is the basic function of filter circuit? The filter circuit will remove that AC component and allow the DC component to flow for the further circuit. Means output of a filter circuit is a pure DC signal. It's a pure DC signal. So can we directly give that output of filter circuit directly to cell phone battery? No. If, as we know that, suppose we assume that to charge the cell phone battery, a pure 5 volt DC signal is required. And suppose the output of filter circuit, if it is greater than 5 volt, so definitely the cell phone battery will be permanently damaged. It means that we need to regulate the output of a filter circuit. And after regulation, so here after the filter circuit, we have to convert that regulator circuit, and this regulator circuit will give the exact 5 volt DC signal, and that signal we can connect to our cell phone batteries there. It's a pure regulated DC signal. Get it, my point? So these are the general 5 block for DC regulated circuit. You can call it a mobile charger also, no doubt about it. So what is the first component in the DC regulator circuit? It's a transformer. What is the function of transformer? It reduces the voltage level, but output of the transformer is AC signal. Output of a transformer is the input to the rectifier circuit. Now, there are 2 types of rectifier circuits are there. Which are these 2 types? One is half wave rectifier circuit and another one is full wave rectifier circuit. In that full wave rectifier circuit, again 2 types are there. One is center tap full wave rectifier circuit and another one is bridge rectifier circuit. But all of these rectifier circuits having that major drawback, the rectifier circuit will not give the pure DC signal as an output. Output of any rectifier circuit is a pulsed DC, means still AC components are present. And that's why we need to give these output of rectifier circuit to the filter circuit. So in this filter circuit, again, there are so many types of filter circuits are there. But for your syllabus, we have to discuss only capacitor filter circuit. And then what is the function of that filter circuit? It will remove that AC component and allow that only DC component, so that output of a filter circuit is unregulated pure DC signal. So after that, we need to use that regulator circuit and then we will get that regulated DC signal is there. And in that regulator circuit, in your syllabus, we have to discuss Zener regulator circuit. So this is the entire topic with this diagram is there. Get it, my point? And then we will try to discuss one block is there. Out of that, the first block, we already learn it. It's a transformer. Is it right? Only we have to start with that rectifier circuit is there. But please keep in your mind, the input to the rectifier circuit is nothing but the output of transformer is there. That is the very important thing is there. आता इथून पुढं मी कधीही शेवटच्या पॉइंट पर्यंत ही ब्लॉक डायग्राम you have to keep in front of you is there always when we try to discuss anything. So whenever आता जर ही ब्लॉक डायग्राम तुम्ही कायम डोळ्यासमोर ठेवली तर तुम्हाला इथून पुढचे जे काही कन्सेप्ट्स आहेत, जे काही मी कन्सेप्ट डिस्कस करेल, that you will get that the concepts in a sequence is there. जर तुम्ही हा सिक्वेन्स व्यवस्थित प्रॉपरली लक्षात नाही ठेवला तर मी काय डिस्कस करतोय, मी काय बोलतोय, definitely you will be confused here. Okay, so it's my request to you all, please take the screenshot of this slide and give me the response.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
सर
Yes, please.
सर आपण रेग्युलेटर सर्किट का जॉईन केले, म्हणजे इकडं आपल्याला प्युअर डीसी सर्किट मिळालं आहे ना.
बरोबर. आता मला सांगा, मी त्याच्यासाठी तुम्हाला सेलफोन बॅटरीचं उदाहरण घेतलं होतं. आपण असं अज्युम करूया की सेलफोन बॅटरीला जे काही लागणारं व्होल्टेज आहे ते 5 व्होल्टच आहे. आता ही ब्लॉक डायग्राम म्हणजे चार्जरची आहे असं कन्सिडर करा. जर फिल्टर सर्किटचं आउटपुट जरी प्युअर डीसी असेल आणि जर ते 10 व्होल्ट असेल तर फिल्टर सर्किटचं आउटपुट सेलफोन बॅटरी चार्ज करायला यूज करणार का तुम्ही? कारण लागतंय किती व्होल्ट? 5 व्होल्ट आहे.
5 व्होल्ट.
बरोबर आहे. म्हणजे त्याला रेग्युलेटर यूज करावा लागेल आपल्याला. म्हणजे जर रेग्युलेटर यूज केला तर या रेग्युलेटरचं फंक्शन असं आहे की आपण हे सर्किट कशासाठी डिझाइन केलंय? एक्झॅक्ट 5 व्होल्ट साठी डिझाइन केलंय. तर तो रेग्युलेटर हा आपल्याला एक्झॅक्ट 5 व्होल्ट ऍज अन आउटपुट म्हणून देणार. म्हणून इथं रेग्युलेटर सर्किट यूज करायचं आहे. फिल्टर सर्किटचं आउटपुट मे बी ग्रेटर दॅन रिक्वायर्ड व्हॅल्यू असू शकतं. मग जर रिक्वायर्ड दॅन ग्रेटर व्हॅल्यू जर असेल तर डेफिनेटली आपली जी काय सेलफोनची बॅटरी आहे ती डॅमेज होण्याची शक्यता आहे. So how we can connect that output of a filter circuit directly to that cell phone battery? That's why we need to connect it's a regulator circuit. Now it is clear.
येस सर.
Okay. So have you taken the screenshot of it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now let's we try to discuss about the second block, and that is nothing but the rectifier circuit. As I already mentioned that the rectification means the process of conversion of AC signal into the DC signal, and the circuit which is used for the process of conversion of AC to DC, that circuit is called as a rectifier circuit. It has its two type, half wave, full wave. Full wave has its two types, center tap and bridge, and we will discuss that one by one here. Let's we start with the rectifier circuit. So here, let me consider that the half wave rectifier circuit first. Half wave rectifier circuit. In short, it is also written with capital H means half, W stands for wave, and R stands for rectifier, HWR. Now the question is that why the name is given as a half wave, not full wave? So definitely the certain reason behind it is there. And now see that first thing, what is the circuit diagram of a half wave rectifier circuit? Now all of you please concentrate. As you know that the input to the rectifier circuit is the output of a transformer. बघा ब्लॉक डायग्राम मध्ये म्हणजे रेक्टिफायर सर्किटला इनपुट कोण देत आहे? हा ट्रान्सफॉर्मर देतोय. सो दॅट इन द सर्किट डायग्राम the first part is a transformer. So this is the symbol of a transformer here. Get it my point? This is a symbol. You can say that this is the primary winding, and which is always connected to AC supply. And this is, I say that, secondary winding. Okay, and the secondary winding having its two terminal A and B. And this is, I say that it's a step down transformer. Why I say that step down transformer? Because first we need to reduce the voltage level of the transformer here. And now whatever the voltage is developed in the secondary winding in between the point A and B, that input, that voltage we call as a input voltage to the rectifier circuit. कारण आउटपुट ऑफ अ ट्रान्सफॉर्मर म्हणजे सेकंडरीला जे काही व्होल्टेज जनरेट होईल ते आपण काय म्हणणार आहोत? रेक्टिफायर सर्किटला इनपुट म्हणणार आहोत. म्हणून मी व्ही इन म्हणलेलं आहे. मग आता मला सांगा व्ही इन म्हणजे इनपुट व्होल्टेज ऑफ अ रेक्टिफायर सर्किट हे आपण कुठं मेजर करणार? हे मेजर करणार आपण सेकंडरी वाइंडिंगला इन बिटवीन द पॉइंट ए अँड बी. प्लीज कीप इन दिस पॉइंट. इनपुट व्होल्टेज म्हणजे तुम्ही याला एसी सप्लाय व्होल्टेजला इनपुट व्होल्टेज म्हणू शकत नाही. प्रायमरी वाइंडिंगला जो एसी सप्लाय कनेक्ट केला त्याला इनपुट व्होल्टेज म्हणू शकत नाही. तर इनपुट व्होल्टेज ऑफ अ रेक्टिफायर सर्किट which is nothing but the output of a transformer, that is nothing but the voltage developed in the secondary winding in between the point A and B is there. आता हे कसलं व्होल्टेज असू शकतं सांगा मला? If I want to draw that waveform, which types of signal we have in between the point A and B? कसलं व्होल्टेज असू शकतं? डीसी व्होल्टेज असू शकतं? इट्स अ एसी व्होल्टेज. कारण ट्रान्सफॉर्मर हे हा डिव्हाइस काय एसी सिग्नलचं डीसी सिग्नल मध्ये कन्व्हर्जन करत नाही. आपण ट्रान्सफॉर्मरची डेफिनेशन बघितली. काय बघितली? काय बघितली डेफिनेशन? It's a static device which will transfer the energy from one point to another point without changing its frequency. बरोबर आहे. म्हणजे जर आता तुम्ही इनपुट व्होल्टेज वेव्हफॉर्म जर ड्रॉ केली ट्रान्सफॉर्मरची ऍट पॉइंट ए अँड बी, बघा मी इथं काय दिलेलं आहे. Input voltage, that is nothing but the voltage in between the point A and B. So you will have this sine waveform. बरोबर आहे. So it's, I said that it's a pi, it's a 2 pi, it's a 3 pi, it's a 4 pi. And this is, I say that it's a positive maximum value plus Vm. This is, I say that it's a negative maximum value, it's a minus Vm. Get it my point? And now this is about only the transformer. पहिल्या ब्लॉक बद्दल बोललो आपण आता आपण दुसरा ब्लॉक घेतोय आणि तो असणार आहे हाफ वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर सर्किट. And that is nothing but only one PN junction diode is used in this half wave rectifier circuit. And how it is connected? It can be connected to the point A, and the negative terminal is connected to the point B along with the load resistor RL. And we always measure the output voltage across this load resistor RL here. This is the output voltage. This is the diode. So if you observe that whatever the dotted portion now I will show, this is nothing but the block of a rectifier circuit. And before that, it is the block of a transformer here. Block lakshat yetet ka baga. And how that diode is connected, only one PN junction diode. The P region of a diode is connected to point A, and the N region of a diode is connected to point B through a series load resistor. आता इथं load resistors का connect केलाय in series with that diode? Because we can take that output voltage across that series resistor here. Is it that clear? And now the input voltage waveform I have drawn. Input voltage waveform I have drawn, and which is in front of you. And now this is the circuit diagram of half wave rectifier circuit. Now see that what is the working of this circuit diagram is there. Now the working of this circuit diagram we will divide into two parts. And which are these two parts? How this circuit diagram it works for every positive half cycle of input voltage. This is the first part. And how this circuit diagram it works for every negative half cycle of input voltage. This is the second part. So let's me try to consider here for every positive half cycle. Every positive half cycle. And now I try to draw only the secondary side of a transformer here. So for every positive half cycle of an input voltage waveform, point A acts as a positive terminal and point B acts as a negative terminal. हे कधी होणार आहे? फक्त positive half cycle ला. And now the remaining circuit diagram is as it is. This is the RL. Here we take that output in between the 2 point RL. Okay. Now if you see the diagram here, you can easily say that as we take that output across this load resistors RL, and for positive half cycle, point A acts as a positive terminal and point B acts as a negative terminal. आता मला सांगा, जर point A हा positive terminal म्हणून act होत असेल, तर तो positive terminal डायोडच्या कोणत्या टर्मिनलला कनेक्ट केलाय? पॉझिटिव्ह ला कनेक्ट केलाय. आणि पॉइंट बी हा निगेटिव्ह टर्मिनल म्हणून ऍक्ट होत असेल, तर तो डायोडच्या कोणत्या टर्मिनलला कनेक्ट झालाय?
निगेटिव्ह.
मग आता मला सांगा डायोड या ठिकाणी कसा ऍक्ट होईल?
फॉरवर्ड.
कारण पॉझिटिव्ह टर्मिनल ऑफ दिस इज नथिंग बट सप्लाय, म्हणून तर त्याला आपण Vin म्हणलंय. बरोबर आहे. द पॉझिटिव्ह टर्मिनल ऑफ अ सप्लाय इज कनेक्टेड टू द पॉझिटिव्ह टर्मिनल ऑफ अ डायोड, and the negative terminal of supply when it is connected to negative terminal of a diode it can be act in a forward bias. आता अप्लाय करा फॉरवर्ड बायसची थेअरी सगळी. ज्यावेळेस डायोड हा फॉरवर्ड बायस मध्ये ऍक्ट होईल त्यावेळेस तो इट कॅन फ्लो द करंट व्हेरी इझिली, and the current it flows from positive terminal, that is nothing but point A, to the load, to the diode, and then load resistors RL, and it will return to that negative terminal. So this is the closed path to the flow of a current in the secondary side of a transformer here. म्हणजे करंटची डायरेक्शन कशी असेल, तो स्टार्ट करेल पॉइंट ए पासून, त्यानंतर डायोड, त्यानंतर RL आणि त्यानंतर बी पॉइंट. But we know that when the diode will flow, or when the diode it acts in a forward bias, it can conduct the current very easily. आता इथं बघा डायग्राम मध्ये, वेव्हफॉर्म मध्ये बघा. आता ज्या वेळेस वेव्हफॉर्म 0 होतं, म्हणजे इनपुट व्होल्टेज 0 आहे, त्यावेळेस डायोड मधून करंट फ्लो होईल का?
नो.
नो. मग जर डायोड मधून करंट फ्लो झाला नाही तर आउटपुट व्होल्टेज RL मधून करंट फ्लो होईल का? गिव्ह मी रिस्पॉन्स फास्ट.
नो.
जर RL मधून करंट फ्लो झाला नाही, कधी म्हणतोय आपण? ज्यावेळेस व्होल्टेज 0 आहे या कंडिशनला, तर आउटपुट व्होल्टेज सुद्धा 0च असेल. आता आपण आउटपुट व्होल्टेजची वेव्हफॉर्म ड्रॉ करतोय. ओके, ह्या कंडिशनला तुमचं आउटपुट व्होल्टेज 0 आहे हे लक्षात आलं. आता पाय रेडियनला, इनपुट सायकलच्या पाय रेडियनला इनपुट व्होल्टेज किती आहे? या ठिकाणी इनपुट व्होल्टेज किती आहे?
0.
0. मग आता इनपुट व्होल्टेज 0 आहे म्हणजे डायोड मधून करंट फ्लो होईल का?
नो.
नाही. RL मधून पण करंट फ्लो होणार नाही आणि आउटपुट व्होल्टेज सुद्धा 0च असेल या पॉइंटला आणि या पॉइंटला. आता एक केस कन्सिडर करा 0 to पाय रेडियन मध्ये, आणि ती केस आपण कन्सिडर करू मॅक्सिमम व्होल्टेज साठी. आता ज्यावेळेस तुमचं इनपुट व्होल्टेज हे मॅक्सिमम असेल, म्हणजे व्होल्टेज इन बिटवीन द पॉइंट ए अँड बी हे मॅक्सिमम असेल, त्यावेळेस डायोड मधून किती करंट फ्लो होईल? मॅक्सिममच होईल का?
येस.
जर डायोड मधून मॅक्सिमम करंट फ्लो झाला तर RL मधून किती करंट फ्लो होईल? तो तर सिरीज मध्येच आहे, म्हणजे सेम करंट फ्लो होईल, म्हणजे मॅक्सिममच करंट फ्लो होईल. जर RL मधून मॅक्सिमम करंट फ्लो झाला तर आउटपुट व्होल्टेज सुद्धा कसं जनरेट होणार आहे? मॅक्सिममच होणार आहे. म्हणजे प्रत्येक कंडिशनला जर तुम्ही आउटपुट व्होल्टेज काढलं हाफ वेव्ह रेक्टिफायरच्या पॉझिटिव्ह हाफ सायकल साठी, तर तुम्हाला पॉझिटिव्ह हाफ सायकल सारखीच वेव्हफॉर्म मिळेल. हा, डेफिनेटली या डायोडच्या अक्रॉस काहीतरी व्होल्टेज ड्रॉप असणार आहे, परंतु ते व्होल्टेज ड्रॉप किती असेल? जर तो सिलिकॉन पीएन जंक्शन डायोड असेल तर ते व्होल्टेज ड्रॉप 0.7 व्होल्ट असेल. जर तो जर्मेनियम पीएन जंक्शन डायोड असेल तर त्याच्या अक्रॉस व्होल्टेज ड्रॉप 0.3 व्होल्ट असेल. पण 0.7 आणि 0.3 हे निग्लिजिबल व्होल्टेज ड्रॉप आहे. ते जर निग्लेक्ट केलं तर आपण असं म्हणू शकतो की पॉझिटिव्ह हाफ सायकलला हाफ वेव्ह रेक्टिफायरचं आउटपुट हे जस्ट लाईक अ हाफ वेव्ह इनपुट वेव्हफॉर्म सारखंच येत आहे. डू यू एग्री विथ माय पॉइंट?
येस सर.
Yes, sir.
And now, if you see that, what happened for negative half cycle? आता मी पुन्हा एकदा निगेटिव्ह हाफ सायकल साठी सर्किट डायग्राम ड्रॉ करतो. आता जर निगेटिव्ह हाफ सायकल साठी सर्किट डायग्राम ड्रॉ केली तर आपल्याला आता माहित आहे की आता पोलॅरिटी चेंज होणार, कारण आता निगेटिव्ह हाफ सायकल आली. आता पोलॅरिटी चेंज झाली म्हणजे काय झालं? पॉइंट ए हा निगेटिव्ह म्हणून ऍक्ट झाला आणि पॉइंट बी हा पॉझिटिव्ह म्हणून ऍक्ट झाला. बाकीची सर्किट डायग्राम अशीच ड्रॉ करतो मी. बरोबर आहे. हा झाला तुमचा RL, हा आउटपुट व्होल्टेज, इज इट राईट? अँड दिस इज ड्राईव्ह. आता मला सांगा, आता ज्यावेळेस मी निगेटिव्ह हाफ सायकल कन्सिडर करतोय त्यावेळेस पॉइंट ए हा निगेटिव्ह म्हणून टर्मिनल म्हणून ऍक्ट होतोय. आता या ठिकाणी डायोड कसा वर्क होईल?
रिव्हर्स बाय.
रिव्हर्स बायस मध्ये ज्यावेळेस डायोड वर्क होईल त्यावेळेस आता अप्लाय करा रिव्हर्स बायसची सगळीच्या सगळी थेरी. पाय टू 2 पाय मध्ये तो रिव्हर्स बायस मध्ये ऍक्ट होतोय. मग ज्यावेळेस तो रिव्हर्स बायस मध्ये ऍक्ट होतोय त्यावेळेस आपल्याला माहिती आहे की मेजॉरिटी चार्ज कॅरियरमुळे करंट फ्लो होत नाही, मायनॉरिटी चार्ज कॅरियरमुळे करंट फ्लो होतो, आणि तो करंट हा एकदम निग्लिजिबल असतो. तो मायक्रो एम्पियर किंवा नॅनो एम्पियर मध्ये आहे. मग जर तो करंट जर आपण निग्लेक्ट केला तर आपण असं म्हणू शकतो की रिव्हर्स बायस मध्ये डायोड मधून करंट फ्लो होत नाही. जर तो मिनिमम एकदम निग्लिजिबल जर निग्लेक्ट केला, जर डायोड मधून करंट फ्लो झाला नाही म्हणजे RL मधून करंट फ्लो होणार नाही. मग जर RL मधून करंट फ्लो झाला नाही तर आउटपुट व्होल्टेज जनरेट होईल का?
No.
No. It means that in between pi to 2 pi, no output voltage is there. पुन्हा पॉझिटिव्ह हाफ सायकल आली म्हणजे पुन्हा डायोड हा फॉरवर्ड बायस मध्ये ऍड झाला. पुन्हा तुम्हाला आउटपुट व्होल्टेज पॉझिटिव्ह हाफ सायकल मध्ये सारखे येईल. पुन्हा निगेटिव्ह हाफ सायकल आली. पुन्हा आउटपुट 0 व्होल्टेज. Output is no. Get it my point? So this is the output waveform of a half wave rectifier circuit is there. मग आता जर तुम्ही ही कंप्लीट सर्किट डायग्राम वेव्हफॉर्म आणि त्याचं वर्किंग बघितलं तर तुमच्या असं लक्षात येईल की इनपुट वेव्हफॉर्म पैकी फक्त पॉझिटिव्ह हाफ सायकललाच हे सर्किट वर्क होतंय. म्हणजे फक्त एका हाफ सायकल साठीच सर्किट वर्क होतंय. त्याच्यासाठी इथं तुम्हाला नाव दिलं गेलेलं आहे हाफ वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर सर्किट. म्हणजे निगेटिव्ह हाफ सायकलला हे सर्किट वर्क होत नाही. अँड ऍक्च्युअली दिस इज द ड्रॉबॅक ऑफ दिस हाफ वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर सर्किट. कारण आउट ऑफ दिस टू हाफ सायकल्स पॉझिटिव्ह अँड द निगेटिव्ह, the half wave rectifier circuit, it works only for the positive, any half cycle or positive half cycle is there. That's why this is the drawback of this half wave rectifier circuit is there. Is it that clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So with this, we will stop here, and from the next lecture